welcome back. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. This is your first time visiting my channel. My name is Stephanie. Welcome. I do mobile home content, thrift shopping, DIY projects, things like that, and I sprinkle in a little bit of family stuff along the way as well. Today is New Year's Eve when I'm filming this, and I was trying to think of what I wanted to do for my last video of the year, and I thought I would do something that I did last year that I really enjoyed, and that is just taking a look back at the projects that I completed with the help of family, of course, in 2024. I have been feeling more inspired, I guess you could say, over the last couple months. I think the built-in back here, just doing this project really showed me how much I can still transform this little tiny single-wide mobile home. So many projects that I want to do in 2025, and I'll be talking with you about that at the end of the video. After we take a look back at this past year, we'll take a look at what I want to do in the future. Anytime I do an update video or a review of projects sort of video like this one, I like to go back and start at the very beginning and just show you guys what this place looked like. I am just going to focus here on the living room, kitchen, and hallway because those are the only rooms that I did projects in this past year. All the things you see here belonged to the man who lived in it previously. We purchased this mobile home for $1,000 from a friend of the family. So it did have to be completely cleaned out, and we went ahead and completely gutted it down to the metal in every room except for the like guest room. And my dad did most of this work by himself. He did have some help from some other family members along the way, but he pretty much took care of all of this, and he just worked so hard over probably 6 months, I'd say, or so, and he got it in tip-top shape, and we were able to move in here in October of 2019. So what you're seeing here is just the metal of the trailer after all of the drywall, not drywall, but all of the paneling and the insulation and everything have been removed. If you are new here, then you've never seen this before, so you don't really know, but there was nicotine damage on the ceiling and the walls and everything. And earlier in the video, you saw it had like a yellowish color to it, and that's what that was from. And that's why we went ahead and ripped it all out, just to be safe, get rid of the smell. It had a really bad smell to it, and we put in all new insulation and drywall, and this is what it ended up looking like when we first moved in. So certainly didn't have new furniture or any of that. We just did the best we could with what we had, and we loved it. It worked out really well, and since then I have been doing projects on it with my family and just making it more and more my own, just adding character to it, trying to make it as cozy and homey as possible. So let's take a look at all of the projects that we did in 2024 and see how far along this place has come. So as I said, this year I really focused on my living room and kitchen when it came to DIY projects. One of the first things that I did was a makeover on my kitchen island, which is something I'd been wanting to do for quite a while. This was just an old cabinet that I have had for years and years. It was just the right size to use as an island, and so that's what I made it into when we first moved in here. So I went to Lowe's and looked at the different options for beadboard, and they do sell the like 4x8 panels that you can get, but I really didn't want to go that route, and I found these at Lowe's. I'm inserting a little picture here for you to see. They come in a 12-pack, and they're around $16 and some change, but they worked so well for this project. Now, I do have to say some of the packs had some bad boards in them, like they had big holes in them. So do be aware of that. I bought 3 packs, and I would say out of all 3 packs, I had almost a whole pack that I couldn't use. Now, I could have went in with maybe some wood filler and filled them, but I feel like if I'm buying something, I shouldn't have to do that. So just be aware that could be a problem. But anyway, I still would do it again. If I had other options, I still would go this route. It was just really easy. They just happened to fit exactly from the top of this 1x4 that I put here as a base. They fit perfectly between that board and the top of the cabinet. So that was just luck. I did have maybe 3 boards that were a little too long, like just a hair, and I couldn't fit them on there, so I did have to trim down just those 3. But anyway, other than that, this worked perfect. I loved it. I would purchase them again, as I said. So all you do is just put them together, and they have the tongue and groove on them. You just slide them into one another. Now you can put glue on the back of these if you feel like you need to. I personally just don't use glue. I know, especially on drywall, I change my mind too much. I want to do things, like redo things too often. So I'm not putting any glue on there and having it rip the drywall apart, because I made that mistake once and I'm not doing it again. I'm not telling you guys not to do it. It's totally a personal preference, I think. Some people love it, some people hate it, and I don't need it, so I'm not going to use it. The brad nails hold it in place just fine. So I went on and put it all the way around this island except for on the front where the doors are. Now I have another plan for that, so I'll show you that here in a minute. Y'all, it's a perfect fit. Perfect fit. Not bad, if I do say so myself. Here is a final shot of the progress that we made today. I think it's looking really good. I like how it's all come together. Everything is fitting really nicely. And I think once I get it painted and get everything else on, it's going to be beautiful. So the next step in my island makeover was to paint it, and per usual, in true Stephanie form, I couldn't decide on a paint color, so I picked up 2 samples. The first one on the left is Dried Thyme by Sherwin-Williams, and the next one is Evergreen Fog, which is one of my favorite paint colors. And I actually decided to go ahead with the Evergreen Fog and painted the entire island in that, and I lived with that for a little bit and decided it just wasn't enough of a change. I wanted something darker, so I decided to go back in with the Evergreen Fog, and I painted it all again. Not Evergreen Fog, and the Dried Thyme. The dried thyme is what it is painted in right now. That's what the color is. So yeah, I like them both. I think they go together really well. So if you had maybe your island in this color, and then like my side table, my little table you see in the background, that one is an Evergreen Fog. And I think it really complements each other instead of them being both the exact same and being matchy-matchy. That's something that you guys convinced me on, because I was feeling like it just all had to be the exact same, and I think it gives it more interest, and it just looks nicer when you have several, like 2 or 3 complementing colors instead of all the same. So that is my suggestion. Now, as I say that, I did go in and paint several things in this Dried Thyme, but I still like my little table over here on the side in the Evergreen Fog. So I'm going in with a paintbrush. I found that to be the easiest way to paint this beadboard, and it worked out really good. I really liked it. I also wanted to change up the hardware, so I wanted to go with a gold color that would match my kitchen faucet, and I thought these were the closest that I could find at Lowe's. I also took in my old one to make sure that the holes would match up, because I'm horrible at measuring that stuff and figuring out which size to get. So I find it easier just to take the old one with me and compare them. That's what I did. I did also decide to pick up these little round ones for the pulls, and I think they're pretty. I would choose these again. I actually do choose them for another project on down the line, you will see. And then the other thing that I wanted to get was some sort of trim that I could put on the front of the cabinet doors to just make them look nicer, make them look more custom. So I decided to go with this pine lattice. It was $15.98, and this worked perfectly. It did exactly what I wanted to do. I just went in and measured each of the doors and cut that, and then just put it on with my brad nails, and that worked perfectly fine. Sometimes you just have to think out of the box. Sometimes projects don't have to cost a fortune. And this one was relatively inexpensive. I felt it was much cheaper than going out and buying a new island. I know that much. So, yeah, all it was some boards and some paint, some new knobs, and it looks so much better. It just really dressed it up and took it to the next level. And adding this trim to the front of the doors actually was really simple. I just, as I said, nailed it on there, and you can go in with a little wood filler and fill in the little cracks there and sand them down, and the nails as well. But yeah, it's a really easy project. I would recommend this to anybody. I don't think it'd be that difficult, other than just cutting them. If you don't have a saw, that might be a problem. But this is so small and thin, you could probably use some sort of little hand saw that, isn't a power tool. That may be an option if you would like to do that. Many of us are starting the new year with health goals in mind, and I love that Thrive Market helps me with that. I encourage everybody to check out Thrive Market, but especially if you live in a small town like I do. Y'all, we have one grocery store, and I'm here to tell you they don't have a lot of healthy alternatives. So I love that I can just hop on Thrive Market. I can go through, filter by my diet that I'm on. If you're on keto, Whole30, paleo, whatever it may be, you can search for products that are just for that specific diet. That makes it so much easier to find what you need. You can also shop by brand. If you have favorite brands, you can shop by aisle like you would in a grocery store. They just make it so easy to shop on their website. If you're looking to save money on your grocery bill, with Thrive Market, you can save up to 30% on organic and non-GMO groceries. There are many products that I love from Thrive Market. Let me show you a few of my favorites that keep me coming back all the time. One of my favorite go-to healthier meals is like a chicken and broccoli bowl, and I make those with these packets from Thrive Market. It's organic rice and quinoa, and then I just add in my chicken, some steamed broccoli, and then this. It's organic coconut amino sauce. Trust me, get this, get both of these together. Chicken, broccoli, add you some like white sesame seeds. I've got a taco night planned, so I picked up some organic refried black beans, some taco seasoning. They have all kinds of seasonings on their website. These are the Thrive Market Taco Night Spice Blends. Rather than doing taco shells, I thought we would do like a taco salad kind of deal. These are all Thrive Market brand. These are the organic pepperoncinis. I use these in Mississippi pot roast, so that's what I'm planning on doing with these. Other than the chips and salsa, the only really snacky thing I picked up were these skinny dipped dark chocolate peanut butter almonds. These are so good, y'all, for real. Add this to your cart. On their website, you're gonna find thousands of the highest quality organic and sustainable products. They also seek out brands and products that follow ethical practices, so you can rest easy knowing that you are shopping with a company who cares about not only people, but our planet. They don't just carry food items, they also have beauty products that are cruelty-free. They have cleaning products. I always pick up these cat treats for Rosie and Remy. This is the Shameless Pets Crunchy Cat Treats in the Catnip and Chill. They love these things. If you want a toothpaste that's gonna make your teeth feel so clean after you brush them, try this brand. Like, compared to any other brand I've ever tried, This is my favorite. If I'm wanting to buy something new, but I'm not really sure about it, if it's a new product that I haven't tried before, I could go on there and read reviews, see what other people thought about it before you spend that money and don't have buyer's remorse once you get it. You guys know I love working with brands who give back to their community. Anytime you and I purchase a membership, they gift a membership to someone in need. So I love knowing that just by being a member of Thrive Market, I have helped someone have access to more healthy and affordable food. That's something that we can all feel good about. Anything over $49 is free shipping. Also, if you're shopping with other services, you may notice that you're paying a delivery fee. You're probably having to tip the person that's bringing you your groceries. With Thrive Market, you're not paying those extra fees. Only when you shop at thrivemarket.com/littleblessednest will you get 30% off of your first order, and you'll get a free gift valued up to $60. Again, that's thrivemarket.com/littleblessednest. The link will be in the description box below. Thanks again to Thrive Market for supporting my channel. Another one of my goals in 2024 with my DIY projects was to finally finish out this closet and my hallway. Now, my brother had made this closet for me the year before, so that would be in my 2023 recap video if you want to watch it. What I needed to do was to trim out the outside of the opening to the doorway. So he's helping me with that. And then we're going to go in and put beadboard all the way down the wall. Now, you guys know I had last year, or the year before now, 2023, put board and batten down the hallway. But the more that I have developed the style that I'm going for in my home, the more I realize that beadboard is what really suits my style in my home. I feel like better than the board and batten. It just feels more vintage to me. I don't know, more cottage style. That might just be me. I don't know, but I just know that I like it, and that's what I wanted in my home. Check it out. We have beadboard going down the hallway, y'all. The closet, I have a closet in my hallway. Can you believe it? We're gonna go in and fill all these in with this wood filler. This is DAP Plastic Wood Professional Wood Filler. We're gonna fill those in, let them dry, and then I'm gonna sand them down, and then we'll be ready to paint. I really like how my hallway has turned out. I do love the beadboard. If I were to change anything, I would make it shorter. I shortened it compared to the board and batten that was already on the other side. This is lower than that was. However, it's still too high in my opinion. I'm going to live with it. I'm not going to change it. But I'm just saying, if I were to do this project again, I would make it lower. Just because it makes it difficult to hang things here. They have to be a certain size, and just, I don't know. I've just found it very hard to decorate this space with the higher walls. My next project for the hallway was to finish out the hall closet that my brother had built me. We found all of this pallet wood. This company in Clarksville, Tennessee had posted something on Facebook Marketplace for free pallet wood, so we decided to go check it out. And we got there, and they had these huge cardboard boxes full of perfect planks that had never even been used in the pallet wood, and they said we could have those too. So we loaded the truck down with this wood, and we've been using it for all sorts of things. But anyway, I decided to go ahead and use that free wood to line this hall closet that my brother made me. Now, this was the year before, so I'm not sharing that in this particular video. But I did go in this year and add shelving in it to make it more functional so that I could store cleaning supplies and candles, things like that in there. And it has worked out so well. This has been a really good project. There used to be like a heating unit in this, and I don't use that in my home. I heat with propane, so I didn't need it, and we just went in and ripped that out and made it into a closet. And I highly recommend that to anybody who may be living in a mobile home and who are also not using their heating unit. this was added so much storage. It's so functional because now I have a place to put my broom and my vacuum and all of that. And before, I was storing that stuff in my pantry. So I was over the moon happy when I finally got this hall closet. To finish it off, I used another piece of pallet wood to make a front for it, I guess you could say. And it just made it look like a chunkier shelf and made it look more substantial. So I think it looks really good. It is pallet wood, but it's just a closet. It worked fine for me. Didn't cost me anything. So I call that a win. So finally, I have a broom closet. Here is a peek at what I've got going on in here so far. I've put some cleaning supplies up on the top shelf, extra paper towels and soaps. I have the baskets that I showed you earlier. And then here at the bottom, I've got my broom, a little vacuum, a Swiffer mop, cat litter, dustpan, things like that. I'm sure I'll find more things to store in here. On to my next kitchen project. I wanted to go ahead and carry the beadboard that I had put down the hallway into the kitchen. I do plan on taking it all the way around my kitchen and living room, but I'm just taking it a little at a time because these beadboard planks are kind of pricey, and if you have to buy a bunch of them, then it can break the budget pretty quickly. So on this day, I am just working on the section of my kitchen beside my pantry. That's what we're going to take care of in this video. And right now I'm just cutting a 1x2 to make the top trim work for it. I start there and get it level. That way I know how to cut each of the planks. I know how tall they need to be because the walls are not level, so I can't cut them all exactly the same because it's not going to come out right, and then the top trim piece wouldn't be level. So I just start with the trim piece and then measure the planks, and that worked well for me. Once I got everything on the wall, I just had to go in and paint it. I am going in with Accessible Beige from Sherwin-Williams. This is the same color that I painted my hallway. And I still really like this color. It's a good neutral color. It does tend to show up a little more gray on screen, or at least it does to me. But in person, it has more of a beige color to it. I think it all also depends on the lighting in your home. So it's one of those colors that can vary, which most colors can, but I really am enjoying this one. So once my island was done, I started thinking, okay, I'm not loving these white cabinets anymore. So then I had to go in and paint the rest of my cabinets dried time as well. It goes well with all the seasons, which I love because I'm one of those people, like, when I put up decorations like Christmas time, it's red and green and gold and all these colors. I can't stand if it clashes with other stuff. Like my living room rug. You guys may have noticed I have a different rug in my living room, and that's just because I could not stand the burnt orange and all the colors with my Christmas decor. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I decided to pick up a neutral colored rug to put in here. Not quite neutral, but more neutral, for holiday seasons to put out so it's not so in your face. And I have loved it. I thought it looked much better in here over the holidays. Although it's really soft, I picked it up off Amazon. It's one of those washable rugs. Rosie, my cat, loves it. She loves how soft it is, and she just lays in the floor and just rolls around on her back, and it's really cute. But anyway, so I painted the kitchen cabinets the dried time, purchased new pulls and hardware to go on there in the gold color that I love. Matches my faucet in my kitchen. But yeah, I really love that. I'll show you a little bit of footage of me painting them and what it looked like before and after. I'm sure I've told you guys before, but painting is one of my least favorite things to do. I love the before and after, and I always I'm excited to get started on it, but after about 30 minutes of painting, I just want to be done. First of all, I am horribly messy. I always end up with it all over me, all over the floor, the wall. I get paint on the handle of the paintbrush, so then I always have it all over my hands. It's just a whole thing, and I try to be to be neat and to not make a mess, but inevitably it's just gonna happen. So I was responsible and took off all of the doors, took off the hinges, which I, trust me, in the past have probably never done this before, but I wanted to do it right. So I took them off. I did sand them down a little. Some of them had some rough spots on them, and they just needed to be cleaned up. So I took them outside and sanded them down by hand. And then once I was done with that, I went in with the dried thyme and gave it a fresh coat. And this is what it looks like. I'm going to give it a good stir, and then we'll get ready to go. Here goes nothing. Bye-bye to the white cabinets, y'all. It really wasn't that hard to paint these cabinets, and there's only 2 of them, so it's not that big of a deal. Honestly, if I had a big kitchen with lots of cabinets, I don't think I would attempt this project on my own because I think I would just really, really make a mess of it. I'm just not that good at painting or that organized or capable of painting that many cabinets. So I probably would have to pay somebody to come do it if I wanted it done that badly. Honestly, I actually did surprise myself with this project and did a decent job painting the cabinets. It got a really smooth finish on them, and it turned out okay. I didn't make too huge of a mess, and I really love the green. I think it looks great. Do you guys ever work on a project in your home, and then once you finish that project, you look at something else and you're like, oh, that would really be good if I did that to this as well. It'll all go together better. That's what happened in my kitchen. It went from the kitchen island to, oh, I really need to paint my other kitchen cabinets. And then once that was done, I was like, I wonder if my roll-in pantry would look good in this color as well. Many of you in the comments said no, don't paint it, leave it white. So I almost did, but then the more I looked at it, the more I thought, I think this would be really beautiful with these glass jars and the wooden tops and the green. So I went for it, and man, am I glad that I did. I just think it just looks so beautiful. And I still had leftover paint from painting my cabinet, so this didn't cost me anything to go in and do this. I find that I work on projects in this way. I will do a project and then work on it over time, like adding things to it to make it the way that I want. So if you have a project and maybe you don't have the time to tackle it all, maybe you don't have the budget to tackle it all, or maybe it's just overwhelming to you like things are to me. So I encourage you to maybe try it that way. Break it down into different steps, different parts, and work on it over time and just add on to it. This is what the rolling pantry looked like before, and it was perfectly fine this way. I loved it this way for so long, but adding the color to it with the rest of my cabinets, it just gave it this warm, cozy look that I find myself drawn to more and more as time goes on. So of course, I really love it. I think it's beautiful. Many of you in the comments after I posted that video said, I was team white. I told you not to paint it, and I was wrong. It looks so much better green, and it really does. It really does look so much better. Got it painted and then lived with that, and the more I looked at it, the more I thought, you know, I could really elevate this a little more. And that's where the idea came in to put the gallery rail on the shelves. And I looked into it, and those things are pricey. So I thought maybe I can do a DIY. I did look on YouTube for some ideas to see if other people had done similar things, and I did find a few with different ideas. and I decided just to go to Hobby Lobby, look around, see what I could find that might work, and let's take a look at how that turned out. So this project was a little out of my comfort zone, honestly. This felt more like a craft project. And while in my younger years, I did love crafting, it's not something that I do much anymore. I was on the hunt for something that I could use to make little posts with, and then a ball or a knob or something to glue to the top of that I could put a rail or a wooden dowel or something through to make my gallery rail with. Now, if I didn't choose something for the topper that already had a hole through both sides, I was going to have to use a drill and drill them myself. So I decided to go with what was the easiest option and went with these balls that already, as I said, had holes on each side because it was already strung on like some twine, and I just took them off of that. Now, they did sell some bags of these that you could buy that had the holes on each side, but it was cheaper to buy the ones that were on the string, so I just cut the string and pulled them off and saved a little bit of money. I have all the posts glued together, and while that's drying, I'm going to go out and cut these dowels down to the right size. You get these at Hobby Lobby. These are 36 inches, I believe, and they are too long for what I need, so I do have to cut them down. I tested out a couple of spray paints and rub and buff and decided on the spray paint. I thought it looked closer to the color of my hardware on my kitchen cabinets and my kitchen faucet. I wanted them all to be a similar color. I spray painted the dowels, and then I took the little knob that we made and just insert that through the hole and then just carry it across. So I put 4 on each one, and then what I did was put some glue on each end and glue on each of the bottoms of these and just popped it in there. The first one's a little tedious, but after that it's fine. And I'll give you a closer look so you can see what it looks like. It really kicked it up another notch, really. So, as you can imagine, if I had to pick my favorite DIY project of 2024, it's gotta be these built-ins. I mean, this is something that I wanted to do for so long. I got inspired from seeing other people on YouTube doing similar projects, and I just knew that that would really make a statement in my living room and give me more storage space, which is key when you're living in a small home. Even with just me here, the way I love to thrift shop, I need all the extra storage I can get. The thrift shopping and the seasonal decorating that I love to do, it takes space to put that stuff. And while I do have a shed outside that's wonderful and great for all of my storage as well, I like keeping some of that stuff inside so that I can swap it out whenever I feel like it. I don't have to go out to the shed and rummage through all of that. So a lot of my decor that's not really so much seasonal, but just stuff I kind of rotate out or that I'll shop my home for, you know, when I'm redecorating a certain place. So these cabinets have come in such handy for that. Also for storing all of my tools and my DIY supplies. It's been wonderful for that as well. So let me show you how that project went. For those of you who may not have been here or may have missed that video, I'm just going to give you a little sampling of what it took to make this happen. Also, again, big thanks to my brother for helping me with this project. Hey guys, so we are at Lowe's and I'm looking at these cabinets, and I need 30 by 30 wall cabinets, and I need 4 of those to go all the way across the wall in my living room. And this is what I'm looking at. This one right here, it's a 30 by 30, and right now they're $120. If you buy 10 or more, they're $107. Like I said, I need 4, and I think they have exactly 4 of them. They might have more elsewhere, but right here, this is all I see. And we're gonna load these up and take them to my house, and I'm excited to get working on this project. We got the cabinets to my house, and then we needed to go and get the lumber to build the base to set the cabinets onto. So my brother hooked the trailer to my dad's truck, and we went to a local lumber yard in Todd County, and they were so helpful. They helped us pick out all the best boards and the sizes that we needed. My brother got them loaded up on the trailer. I'll be honest with you, we really did not know what we were doing. I had a general idea of how I wanted it, just from watching other videos and seeing how people do it. There are quite a few examples of projects similar to this on YouTube. I watched quite a few of them, as I said, and came up with a plan that I thought would work best for me and my space. And I tried my best to relay those ideas to my brother. I think he just thinks I'm crazy, really, to be honest. I also had purchased a Craig jig, which we had been wanting for a long time. My brother had been wanting one as well to work on projects. So I went ahead and bit the bullet and bought one. I don't recommend buying some sort of new tool when you're on a timeline to get a project finished, because you're not only adding to the project, but then you're adding on this other task of learning how to use this tool. And with the Craig jig, or at least on our end, it takes a little practice. You're not going to just pick it up and automatically know what to do with it. So definitely plan for that. If you're going to use some sort of new tools, learn how to use the tools before you actually start your project. Right here we are building the boxes to go on top of the cabinets, which will make the bookshelves. We figured this would be the easiest way to do it, and it was not complicated at all. It didn't take us too long to build these parts. Honestly, we had the most trouble, I'm wanting to say, with the base. It feels like it took us a while to get that figured out. I don't know why, but like the size of it, and I think it was because we were trying to learn this Craig jig, to be honest. But yeah, we used 1x12s for the bookshelves. That was for all the sides and for the actual shelves, and it was really simple. And for the shelves, my brother actually told me about these little screws that you can get at the hardware store, and you just make a hole, slide it in there, and set the shelves on the top of it, and that made it so easy. That was such a great idea. I would definitely do that again if I'm doing anything that's going to be, requiring shelves to be built. I would definitely use these little things. They were inexpensive and they worked great. I decided to go with the same gold knobs that I have in my kitchen. I went back and forth on that because I really like crystal knobs, and I thought about getting those to put on here, but I just decided that the gold would probably just look better and would tie in with the kitchen, and that's kind of what my goal was to tie these two rooms together since they are open to one another. And that's one of the reasons why I decide here in a minute to paint this new unit the same dried time as my kitchen cabinets. I almost went with the evergreen fog just to give it a little bit of variety, but I know when I painted my island the evergreen fog, I just wasn't happy with it, and I didn't want that to happen with these cabinets. I already knew that I liked the dried time, and so I just decided to go for it and paint it all the same color, and I'm so glad that I did. Before I started painting the cabinets, I wanted to go ahead and take the top that I had used for the cabinets, which is a 1x12. I wanted to go ahead and stain that first and get that installed before I started, like I said, painting the actual shell of the bookshelves. I painted this in Early American. Typically, I use Special Walnut in my house. That's what all the other stains are. I went ahead and got some cabinet and furniture paint from Sherwin-Williams. I had already used all the paint that I previously had, and I really wanted to get a cabinet paint that was specifically for this. So I went ahead and painted the bookshelves with a foam roller. And also I had decided that I wanted to put beadboard on the back of these. So I did go to Lowe's and pick up some like beadboard panels, the 4x8 panels. And I cut them down to fit the back of the bookshelf and then just added them on with a brad nailer. And that worked out perfectly. It was a little tricky getting this on and then lifting them up and putting them onto the top of the top of the cabinets because they were so much heavier with that beadboard on there. So definitely keep that in mind if you're doing this project by yourself. You're gonna need some like upper body strength to lift these up and get them up onto the cabinet. I was looking at the bookshelves and I was thinking that they looked a little puny. So I thought, well, how can I make it look better? And I had these extra 1x2s laying around. So I stuck it up there and I thought, oh, this will be good. This is like adding some chunkiness to it, you know, beefing it up a little bit, adding some more character to it. So that is what I did. I measured all the bookshelves and I added 1x2s to the front of the sides and also to the shelf. So I actually had to stain those and then I just nailed them to the front and it looked so good. And next came the not so fun part of painting all these cabinets. It actually wasn't as bad as I expected it to be, and I almost primed them first, which I know a lot of you probably would have. But I was told by the lady at Lowe's that it should be fine as long as I go with like light coats and not try to lay it on thick. And she was right. It turned out perfect. They looked like they were made this color. It doesn't even, I don't find anything wrong with them. I was really impressed with myself. I did get some on the floor, but it came up. But yeah, this is how it turned out. It's just everything that I hoped and thought that it would be. I am still over the moon with these cabinets, and they transformed my home in such a way. It just made it a little more upscale. I don't know if that's the word to use, but I don't know. It's just beautiful. I would love it if you guys would let me know in the description box what your favorite project was. I'm pretty sure I already know, but I want to hear from you. And also let me know what project you want to see me do in 2025. So that's a wrap on 2024. Let's talk a little bit about what's going to be happening in 2025. So my big projects for this year, first is putting the flooring in my bedroom that's been on hold forever. That's going to be a project coming up soon. Also finishing the beadboard in my living room and kitchen, and I do need to put a fresh coat of the alabaster all around the top of my living room. I need to put a fresh coat of paint in my bedroom as well. I'm happy with the colors that I have going on in there. It's just gotten a little dingy. It's been about 4 years since that room has been, well, no, I repainted it since then. But anyway, it needs a fresh coat of paint pretty badly. I'm probably just gonna do a whole little bedroom refresh when I do the flooring in there. There's a few projects that I need to do to just tie everything together that have been put on the back burner for so long. And you guys know, trim work. I have got to get trim work done in this place. But I want to get the ceiling done before that. I had been wanting to plank it, you know, just wood planks like shiplap or something like that. But the more I think about it and the more I have talked with other people about it and people who have done this project before, I'm really concerned that it's going to make my home look more closed in, like it's going to bring the ceiling down. My walls and ceiling is not that high to begin with. My walls are 7 foot, and then it has an A-shaped ceiling, so that does make it feel bigger in here. But I'm afraid if I go and plank it and stain it, which it would be a light colored stain, but I'm still feeling like it's gonna make it feel more boxy in here and make the ceiling feel lower. So what I'm thinking of instead is doing like the beadboard sheets, not the planks, but the 4x8 sheets. doing that and then putting a center beam down the middle. I've wanted a center beam in this place forever because it has the A shape. There's already a board that goes down the center, but I want to build like a box and stain it and make it all nice and beautiful. I don't think it would be that hard to do in here because of the way it already is. I think that along with the beadboard will really do the trick. Now, if you're wondering, my ceiling is just terrible. It's your typical older mobile home ceiling. It's got like the popcorn stuff on it. It's got those little flower things over the screws. Like I hate it. It's horrible. It's also gotten dingy over the last 4 years, so it needs a coat of paint regardless. If I didn't do anything else, I would need to paint it. I really don't want to do that because I want to cover up all of the imperfections and the popcorn stuff, and I just think that the beadboard will look beautiful. It'll be white, and don't hold me to it. Y'all know I change my mind. It takes me forever to make a decision on things, and that's part of the reason why my DIYs are slow. It's because I can't make up my mind what I want. I've got 2 windows that I need to trim out, and my pantry door somehow. I don't know how that's gonna happen. And my back door. So I've got a lot of trim work that needs to be done. Never did it when we first moved in here, simply because I knew I had all these other things that I wanted to do, and I just felt like it was smarter to hold off on it and not have to put it up and then pull it back down to do the ceiling. You know what I mean? So that's what the holdup has been on that. I've had people have been talking about that for years. My my lack of trim work, my lack of crown molding. So that's gonna be wrapped up this year, guys. I'm not sure when it's gonna be, but it's gonna get done. I'm also thinking of adding cabinets above my washer and dryer. I've had a lot of people suggest that over the years, and I kind of fought it because I do like decorating that space. I have a shelf there and I like that, but having cabinets there would make more sense as far as storing laundry things and all of that. So I'm considering doing upper cabinets above it, and then maybe some wallpaper below it with a shelf. That's my idea for that area. Still working that one over in my head. Living room, I just have to finish the beadboard in here. Yeah, other than painting, I think that's about all that I need to do in this room. Bathroom, I want to add wallpaper in there behind my sink. And I'm thinking about doing beadboard in there. Haven't decided yet. I don't know. That's a possibility. We'll see. I definitely want to do the wallpaper though. I'm still hunting for just the right one. I want something colorful, something with some green in it, but I'm also thinking about going with some like pinks with the green, like maybe a floral wallpaper. I don't know, we'll see. So that's what's going on with the bathroom. And then the only other room I have is my guest room / office, and that room is going to get a big makeover this year. I plan on painting that. I plan on making a feature wall in there. I also want to do some sort of built-in in there where my desk is. It'll still be a desk, but I don't know, I want to do some like built-in shelving above it and maybe a cabinet. I don't know. This one I'm still working on as well. I have all these ideas, y'all, all these things in my head that I want to do. It's just putting them into action that always is my problem. I don't ever know where to start, and I never know, like, okay, is this really what I want? Is this final decision? It takes me a long time to get to the final decision, but those are all the projects that I'm hoping to accomplish in 2025. I think that'll keep us busy and give me a lot of content to share with you guys, but also just bring my home together, finally get it more finished. It's just felt unfinished with the ceiling and the trim work not being done. This year I plan to take care of that so I don't have to think about it anymore. I'm really tired of thinking about it. Every time I just look around and I'm like, man, I'm so sick of looking at the top of these walls. I need some trim up there. And then also I hope to get a front porch put on the front of my home. I have battled that one for 4 years now. Trying to decide, do I want just a deck on the front? Do I want a big deck? Do I want a small deck? Do I want a roof? Do I not want a roof? What color do I want it to be? it's just a never ending in my head. I just am constantly going back and forth about things that I want to do, and it kind of puts me just in this holding place. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a lot of people have this problem. I wouldn't necessarily call it a problem because it's smart in a way, because you're not going ahead and rushing into something and then not liking it and then spending more money and redoing it. I definitely don't want to be doing that because there's too many projects that I want to do, so I don't want to be repeating them. You know what I mean? All right, my friends, that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please consider giving me a thumbs up. That really helps me with my YouTube channel. Also, if you are new here, I don't know if I said it in the beginning, but my name is Stephanie, and I'm so glad to have you here. Welcome to my channel. If you enjoyed today's video, I hope you'll consider subscribing. That way you'll get notifications every time I upload a new video. And I would love to have you as part of my YouTube family. Also, for all of you who have been here with me forever now, it seems like, I never want to miss an opportunity to let you know that I love you. I'm thankful for you. And I'm just blessed to have all of you here, because this channel would not be possible without you. I know it'll be after New Year's Eve when you see this, but I hope you all have a wonderful, happy, and safe New Year. I'll be seeing you in the next video.